Hello, welcome to Yoga Will. I'm William, and today we will do a 20 to 30 minute class focusing on our core. So we need to make sure that in each posture we are trying to create enough tension to the point where we can still maintain relaxation. So to me, from what I've learned, it doesn't help to push uh, if there's no awareness or sensitivity to what's going on in each posture, because it's very fickle. When they say get into the pose, I think there's actually so much that's going on, and that takes a lot of time to really understand. So verbal cues can help, like an outside-in approach, but I think we're also trying to learn from the inside out. We're trying to learn from our own experience, and when we can share it, it makes it easier to apply what we've learned into our own practice. So my advice today is, yes, we're gonna push ourselves, but at the same time, with that tension, can we find some way to relax? And therefore, our awareness is going to spread in our body, and it will be easier to figure out, maybe intuitively, what we need to do. With that, I am also going to share some basic verbal cues so that will hopefully help you figure out what exactly to do. Yoga is, there's a lot that goes in it. From the outside, it looks very basic. We're just, moving our body and breathing. And yeah, that's in a nutshell the basic, understanding. But there's more that meets the eye. So, with that said, we're going to place our hands on top of our knees. We're going to close our eyes, settling in. And noticing our breath. We can bring our hands together in front of our heart, acknowledging that we took time for ourselves, because we know that life is very overwhelming and we need to find some solace. And by making a small retreat from each day, honoring your body and your mind, we are able to hopefully deal with our circumstances, so that whatever comes our way, we can face it regardless. So we're going to exhale the breath, inhaling, and we'll start with one Om. Om. We'll open our eyes, place our hands on our knees, and we're gonna start simply with some neck rolls. So we can drop our head down and start to bring the right ear to the right shoulder, bringing our head back down. We bring our left ear to the left shoulder. Once again, go to the right side. And you can let the breath be natural. I think there's a time when we should be more forceful, in the sense that we try to establish a longer inhale and exhale. Or we can also just focus on the movement itself and allowing the breath to follow on its own. Because either way, we're going to keep breathing. But in our practice, yes, we want to make involuntary use of making it deeper, slower. Okay, now we did our neck rolls. We'll do our hips. So again, hands on the knees, leaning towards the right knee, swoop towards the left knee, pressing back, and then come around, and then once again, just some small circles as we warm up our hips. Keep going. Go reverse. Now we go from right to left, switching directions. Last 3, 2 more. Okay, so now we're going to lay down. We're going to place our hands, palms down by our hips. We're going to raise the right leg, bring it down, raising the left leg, bring it down, raise the right leg, bring it down. This is going to help start to activate our abdomen, stretching our legs. And when you bring your legs up, you can squeeze the thigh muscle, activating the quadriceps. And you pull them up and extend through the heel. And then when we come down, once again, extend through the heel, but also press the heel down into the floor. Stabilize as you lift the other leg up. Keep going. And again, you can use your hands in the back of your head and your shoulders to once again keep stabilized to the floor. Okay, we'll do one more on the left side. Okay, good. Now, we're going to do both legs. So, we're going to squeeze our thigh muscles into each other. We're going to bring our legs up. Up, up, up again. Now, go as slow as possible. Up, 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 up. And slowly come back down. Okay. On your own, whenever you need to breathe, breathe. Like I said, I think there's a time when we should be more voluntary, and then when we should kind of let the breath do its own thing so we can focus on the body and the movement. When you get comfortable, then you can combine with the breath and making sure that everything is in harmony, because sometimes we are focusing on the breath and we don't know actually what's going on in the body. I remember at a time when I was obsessed with having to either have 5 or 10 breaths in each posture, and that became my focus when actually my awareness was just, fragmented from my body. But then I kind of gave that up and realized maybe I should actually just notice what's going on in my body first, and then the breath kind of naturally will reveal itself, because everyone's got a different heart rate. And so we're all, hopefully by doing the practice together, going to link up, but everyone is different. So once again, breathe as you will and take a break if you need to. So now we're going to float the arms overhead, and then we're going to bend our knees. Okay, so here we go. So here is a moment where we will link breath and body. So we're going to inhale, and then as you exhale, we're going to bring the arms down to the floor as we lift our pelvis up and exhale. And inhaling, we drop the pelvis down and arms behind the head. Exhaling, we're going to lift up, inhale. And again, we're trying to just enjoy the practice, trying to relax even though we're actually under stress, which is kind of counterintuitive. Okay. Last exhale. Really press. You can maybe lift the toes, go back and forth. Maybe your body's a little bit open. Press, press, press. Press down. Okay. All right. And then from here, we're going to extend. And we're going to keep the arms now overhead. Lift the feet. Again, we're not going to really squeeze our butt tight, but we're going to activate the lower legs. Again, drawing the knees up, activating the quads, squeezing. And now, let's try to find our breath. Where is it? Maybe we have some tightness in our throat. We should try to relax that. In our abdomen. So just try to explore what's going on in your body. So now we're going to raise the legs up to about 45 degrees. Breathing. As you can tell, breathing becomes much harder and is more labored and forceful. But can you still remain alert and relaxed? Okay, one more breath here. And we're going to raise all the way to 90. 5 breaths here. Again, squeezing the legs. Making sure our face is relaxed. Okay, all right. So now we can extend the right leg, put the left foot on top of the right knee. We're gonna roll over to the right. We're gonna place our right hand on the left knee and then look over to the left. Maybe go easy if you want to press into your knee. We don't want to push ourselves too much. And again, seeing if you can relax and breathe. Okay, good. Coming back. Other side. We're going to draw the right foot over the left knee. And then you can just lay the right arm out, looking over the right shoulder. Letting gravity pull the right knee over the left. And as our hips are moving towards the left side, our shoulders are opening up towards the right. So we have this opposite. And that is what yoga is hopefully helping us achieve, is the dual perspective that is complementary. So opposites actually can teach us about singular approach, and we can use this in our life and to also know when to relax and when to contract, when to open, and when to close, when to inhale, and when to exhale. Okay, so we'll come back. Now from here, we're going to just slowly come up into Dandasana, our staff pose. So, our base is the leg, both legs, and we want to again activate through the heels. Our hands are also part of the base, and our hips. So maybe you can play if you need to bring your hands farther away to create more space in the shoulders. You can bring your hands closer to your hips. It's up to you. And when we're pressing down with our hands, we want to make sure that we're first pressing with the base of the palm and then extending from there through the fingers. Looking straight ahead, we are relaxed. It's an active pose even though we are static. So back to the opposites, the dualism, there is action in non-action, or movement inside of stillness. So we might look like we're not doing anything from the outside, but inside there's a lot going on. And again, we're trying to just relax. See if you can relax in the posture and get into it, which is, misleading. Everyone's got to find their way. Okay. Now we're going to do our Navasana, since we are once again focusing on our core. So this is going to stabilize our lower spine, and it's very good because we all need to come back to our center. And so actually core postures I hate doing. So that means I should do more of them. Okay, so we're going to come up, extend through the fingers, get relaxed. You can play, maybe you can look up, you can look down, breathe. And again, a soft face. Now, you can cross. If you want, we can try. We're going to press up, back down. One more time. As you can tell, I'm sweating. It's really hot here in China. Okay, so we're holding our boat. Arms are active. Shoulders are drawing down and back. We're firing through. And making sure the feet are awake, legs are alive, and our core. Okay. We're going to cross our legs. We're going to roll over. And we're going to take a small little break. Toes together, knees apart. Bringing your tailbone down to meet the heels and the forehead down. Child's pose. And again, just find your breath. Maybe your heart rate has picked up, which is good. Blood is flowing, getting more oxygen, awakening up the body, the natural intelligence. Coming back to our center, the core, this moment. When you're exhaling, instead of sucking in, there's always the cue that pull your navel into your spine, like this sucking. But for me, I feel like when you exhale,
It's more like a pushing out, even though the navel pulls in. Going back to this opposite concept. So as you exhale, of course, the navel automatically draws in closer to the spine, but when you exhale, it's like you want to push forward, push it all the way out, because there is a muscle called the transverse abdominis, and this is responsible for, making sure the spine is at its deepest stabilized. We have other abdominals, the obliques and the rectus abdominis, which are the superficial abs. And when I was practicing, I always would focus on crunching, whereas those six-pack abs, and actually that was creating a lot more problems. Then I discovered that it's more about a soft pushing out. There's no real squeezing, there's no tightening. Even though it zips up, it feels like a corset, the transverse abdominis runs horizontally, so there's not this vertical compression from the outside when you're exhaling.
Okay, we're coming out of our child's pose. Again, plank. So, let's play around here. We can rock back and forth, and we want to make sure that it's even, the weight between our hands and feet. And again, our legs are active, arms are active, our triceps here are really working, biceps are lengthening because they're not being contracted, they're actually resting. And again, I like to think that we're turning not the shoulder blades this way, in, but we're rolling them out. So it's like the left hand, starting from the base of the left thumb, is going counterclockwise, whereas the bottom of the right thumb is spinning clockwise. Yes, I'm confusing myself. Okay, bring the right foot to meet the right hand, our lizard pose. Again, really pressing to move, pressing into the right foot, lifting up, lengthening through the back of the head. So what we're working on here towards is Bakasana, crow pose. So we're staying here. And if you want, now, you can either reach the hands forward and start to maybe come down onto the forearms, if possible. It doesn't matter. Even if you can or it's too much of a struggle, it doesn't really matter. This is the posture, and we want to make sure that it feels good. There's no competition in yoga. Okay. Bring the left to meet the left. Left foot meets the left hand. Again, we're reaching back to that right heel, and we're pressing down with the left foot. We're really pressing into the floor with our hands. And again, making sure that we have some freedom in our shoulders, and our neck is free. And again, you have that option. If you want to come down onto the forearms, you can. You don't have to. Again, staying here. Okay, I think we're getting closer and we're ready. All right, back to plank. Start to walk the feet up. First, we're going to come into Malasana, squat. So you have a few options here. You can A, keep the hands out front. B, you can try squeezing the backs of the triceps with the knees, pressing in together with the hands to hopefully create that length. And C, I think there's a C. You can just keep the arms like this if you want.
And if you have any pain in your knee, what you can do, if you have a blanket, you can either roll up the back of the mat and put it underneath your knees so that they are slightly elevated. Okay, so now we're ready for our crow. So what we want to do is, I like to bring the heels together, toes out, start to bend the knees, leaning forward. We're going to drop the backs of the arms inside the knees, and you can try one at a time. You can do this. You can just keep the right knee on the back of their tricep and alternate. Again, even though we're not focusing on the breath, the body is still moving, so we need to really pay attention to what's going on inside, because there's a lot of force generating here. So again, let the breath do its own thing if you're struggling. Just see if you can build the muscle memory first. Okay, and if you're ready, you can try both, lifting up. It's hard to talk, but you can hear here, hear here. Okay. All right. Back to our child's pose. Coming down. Forehead to the floor. And again, just try to relax. See if your awareness can naturally find itself in all parts of the body. Okay, coming up, almost there. We're going to come into Shalabhasana, locust pose. Oof, coming down. Okay, so this is a prone posture. We're lying on our stomach. We're going to really use our core to press into the mat. As we lift the hands up, the feet come up, head moves forward. Again, we're squeezing the legs together, finding your breath. Coming down. Just notice your breath. Don't try to change it. Again, what we should always strive to do is consciously relax. In every single posture, relax. Even though there's so much tension, relax. This is that opposite quality, this dual nature. Once again, number 2. Here we go. We're going to lift the arms off the floor. We're going to open up the chest, squeeze, not towards the ears, creating congestion in your neck and shoulder. We want to keep it free. So make sure the hands are pushing back while the shoulder blades kind of come closer together. Lift the feet. And down. Okay. So now we're going to press up. Once again, we're going to cool down. Now if you want, you can come into Vajrasana. Take a moment to just sit on your heels. Or Virasana. So we're going to draw the feet to the sides of the mat, knees together. And if you need to, you can put a block and put it under in case there's pain. Or you can put a blanket in between your knees.
And we want to sit in Virasana. You can join the thumb and the index finger, are individual and universal. Staying here for a few moments. Okay, slowly, let's come out of this carefully. Coming out of the posture might be more important than getting into it. So back to the opposite. We have coming into the posture and we have coming out of the posture. And we're always so quick to want to jump to the next posture. And in between is when our awareness should be even more sharp, because it's no fun when you're injured or you hurt yourself. So we also need to be very mindful about making sure we understand what our body is trying to tell us. Gravity is a very real thing, and it can really create havoc. Take it from me. I've injured myself, and it's actually been a really, really great humbling lesson as well. But we don't want to teach pain, even though it's part of the healing. So pain and healing, opposites, once again, go together. Okay, last posture before Shavasana. We're going to have our hands kind of like Dandasana, but now we're going to extend backwards. But first, you can modify this. If you want, you can just, like a tabletop, and then if it's permissible, you can drop your head back. Or, if you would like more extension, and if your body can handle it, you can try to straighten your legs. I'm not there, and I don't care, but I'm working. So again, we're pressing the base of the thumbs. Remember, the left side is working counterclockwise, the right side is working clockwise. So we want to find this spinning motion. And again, squeezing the thigh, pressing the core, the navel up. Okay. Very good. Now, you've earned it. Our Shavasana. So letting go. Allowing your body to move into stillness. And again, the breath will naturally slow down and shorten on its own. We don't need to do anything to the breath. If it's a part of your intention, like in pranayama, just a sitting practice, then it's feasible, I think, because your body is still and you're sitting, and there's no real complexity involving the body in various positions. It's a simple sitting posture. So I think there it's more appropriate. Not to say that we shouldn't focus and elongate the breath during asana, but in the beginning, let's just work on exploring the body and how it feels and noticing what's going on, because there's a lot to it. And later we can bring in the breath as well, to see what we couldn't before. So again, allow your body to just sink, feel heavy, relax. You can let out a if you need to. And we're going to slowly bring some movement into the extremities, maybe the fingers and toes first, and the feet, the hands, and the arms. If you want to, please stay longer. I think Shavasana is best. I'm not bound by time, but life demands. We're going to get up and face whatever it is. We can roll over to either side, the right or the left. Some say it activates different properties in our breathing, which can produce certain qualities of feeling. I'm not sure. I just either move to the right or left, depending on nothing really. It's just a choice that we all make. We're going to come up right back to where we started. We have our hands on our palms. Hands on our palms. We have our hands on our knees, and we will join our palms in front of our heart. We will close with one final Om. Exhale the breath. Inhale. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this class. Again, our core, we're ready, we're feeling energized. Yeah, if you like this, please hit the like and subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. I look forward to sharing more and more and more. And until next time, I'll see you, and I hope you have a really good day. So long.